one stock that did see a good day of trade yesterday was a Supriya Lifescience. The stock ended with gains of 5.5% in terms of yesterday's session at the day's highest levels, and it's up over 23% in the last 5 trading sessions. The reason of this consistent strength is what we need to understand. The management commentary and the strong revenue guidance is what probably is the reason why you're seeing these kind of gains. In fact, NDTV Profit did get a chance to speak to the management exclusively on the sidelines of the Motilal Oswal's 11th ideation conference. Let's quickly listen into that chunk.
So in terms of CMO, CDMO, definitely for us, it's going to be one of the areas of growth for the next 3 years. We are expecting about 20% of the total revenue in FY27 to come from CMO, CDMO opportunities. As far as China Plus One is concerned, definitely any manufacturer who has the right kind of regulatory approvals and who has a proven track record in terms of export quality will benefit from this. And we are one of those manufacturers. We have a US FDA, EU approved plant. We have been supplying in export market for over 38 years. So we have an excellent track record when it comes to quality. So any manufacturer who has regulatory quality will definitely benefit from the China Plus One strategy.
Right, thanks for painting that picture. So you have around 3 to 4 opportunities on the advanced intermediate and the API side. So what kind of growth do you pencil in over the next 2 quarters through these opportunities? And are these significant enough to have a material impact on the company?
So in the next 2 to 3 quarters, I don't see a significant impact in terms of revenue. But like I said, by FY27, yes, you can expect about 20% coming in from these opportunities.
Right. So we are talking about API and advanced intermediate.
Yes. So for us, CMO is on 2 fronts. One is the API advanced intermediate from the current site that we have in Lote Parshuram. And then we also have Ambernath site which is going on production in the next 1 quarter. So that would be contract manufacturing on the finished formulation site. So for us, it's going to be 2 areas, API advanced intermediate as well as finished formulations.
Right, so that was one of my questions actually, as to an update on the Ambernath facility for production. So you said that over the next 1 quarter, is that correct?
Yes. So we have already done our validation batches in Ambernath, and I think next quarter we will start the commercial production. We are also expecting to trigger the EU audit in the next financial year, because it is again targeted for CMO in regulated market space, because as a company we focus more on regulated markets. So maybe second quarter of next year we can expect the EU audit.
Right, and what are your plans on North America and Africa businesses, and what is the progress? Also, what kind of revenue would you expect from these businesses?
So for us, out of the total revenue that we do, about 90% comes in from exports, and out of this 45% comes in from Europe. It's one of our largest regulated markets. North America for us right now is very small, I think less than 5% of the total revenue. With some of the new product launches and the new CMO contracts, it will increase slightly, but for us as a company, Latin American markets and European markets would still be a large chunk of the revenue.
Right, and moving on, let's talk about backward integration. So they contribute around 77% of the revenue, if I'm not wrong. So any update on how that backward integration is progressing?
So backward integration, I would say, is the most important aspect of us as a company. We are one of those few companies who believe in backward integration, and we make our own advanced intermediates. We only buy the basic chemicals from outside. The idea is to have a fully backward integrated basket, but for the new launches, sometimes it is not possible from the get-go. So once the product has reached certain scale in the non-regulated, semi-regulated markets, then we go for backward integration. By FY27, I would say fairly 90% of the portfolio would be fully backward integrated.
Right, thanks for that. And my last question again, any update on the company entering into contrast media?
So yes, you can expect contrast media APIs getting launched by Q2 of next financial year.
Right. And lastly, again, I said that was my last question, but you have 3 land parcels, right? So can you give us an update on how those land parcels are being utilized?
So our next leg of expansion will happen in the Patalganga land parcel that we have, but we are expecting it at least 2 years away from where we are today. We have recently invested in Module E in our current site, and then of course Ambernath we have invested about 125 crores. So almost 250 crores capex we have done in the last 2 years. So once that reaches full utilization, let's say by FY27, then I think we would start looking at the Patalganga land parcel.